like that. Like
the thing is as well to take into account Neil's stack size. If he had a 2-pair plus hand facing Nathan's lead, he's just going to shove.
He's going to put it in. He's just protection. 6-8, 6-7. So even a set might put it in there if you're not a if you're not a strong player.
I think most sets are going to put it in there in that spot. So
there's only 11.5k back. The pot's big enough. Just put it in and protect yourself and look for one caller. You know, they want a caller with an overpair and a flush draw. You don't want 2 callers in the spot with a vulnerable 2-pair. So I think he would put in most of his hands. His hand kind of looks like
what it is. King X, yeah,
a bad King X or a King X with a gut shot or a straight draw or King 10 or something like that. That'd be a hand that I'd look to put him on. But I think the big mistake was the flop sizing and the fact that he just folded so quickly. 20 seconds. Take your time and think about what each player could have.
Because if he actually thinks about it, he'll be aware that Neil's pretty capped. We should be well ahead of his range. Like, he's so capped to King X, he's going to shove all his 2X. So it's only really Nathan we're worried about.
And he'd have 40,000 back, and so we can still win a pot against Nathan and might lose the 11k more if it goes to the river.
Yeah, exactly that.
He's not going to be crippled unless he loses the pot to Nathan, you see. Then Nathan there to me just looks like he should be betting bigger with the hand that needs protection instead of just his little lead out that looked weak to me. So we
saw Nathan take the pot eventually. He did river a top pair, but the main talking point in that hand was the aces, how they were played. Thanks, Rick, for joining me. This has been Break It Down. How would you play that hand? Welcome to Break It Down. Today I'm joined by Grosvenor sponsored pro Andy Hills, where we are going to take a look at a hand from London GUKPT, level 1 of the day. Blinds are 25.50, and we get to the river where a player is faced with a very tough decision. So action starts with an open to 200 under the gun. It gets called in 3 spots, and then a Jaroslaw in the big blind, 9-8 suited, gonna come in for a 3-bet here. Thoughts on this, Andy? Early on in the tournament?
Well, as we can see, there's been a lot of calls of doing with a gun raise. You could say there's been a little bit of disrespect for that raise. So a squeeze play is going to work a certain percent of the time. As we see, it didn't work that very well in this instance. And suddenly we end up playing this enormously bloated pot on level 1 of the tournament. You know, you're playing 20k deep. That's a lot of big blinds, but suddenly we're playing for effectively quite shallow stacks once we get to the flop.
Yeah, 3.3k in the middle already. Gets called in 2 spots. Sebastian calling with the king queen suited, and Simon going to peel the 6s under the gun at +3. Does have position in the hat, and we will take a flop.
So I definitely don't mind the hands that have peeled here. They're getting some good implied odds, even if they are behind. You know, we can flop flush draws, the 6s can flop a set.
And the flop does bring action. King 4-3, 2 diamonds. Jaroslaw after 3-betting out the big, expecting to continue here, flopping a flush draw, just 9 high at the moment. Sebastian not going to be going anywhere though. Second up flush draw and top pair.
It's interesting. So Jaroslaw has almost got what looks like the dream scenario.
Yep.
The king high, somewhat dry board, where you even have some equity. Although, as we can see, he doesn't have any equity because he's dominated by a higher flush draw, which is quite unlucky, I would say. So I do like the c-bet, even though we can see he's drawing nearly dead.
Now this is where the hand starts to get very strange. Simon with the overcall on the flop here with 6s.
I would say that's quite outrageous.
Yeah, we've got to be letting it go.
I don't know what his thought process is for overcalling here. Now, I would actually say it'd be a dubious call, let alone a dubious overcall in a 3-bet pot. Even if you have the best hand with 6s, the guy who's 3-bet is supposed to carry on blasting to represent the king.
So the turn rolls off the Jack of Hearts. Jaroslaw with just 9 highs, still with a flush draw.
A lot of the time you continue to represent, but maybe he's been a little bit put off by being called in 2 spots.
Yeah, 2 spots makes it a bit more difficult to double barrel in this particular scenario.
And the Jack does hit their ranges, you know, like I'm expecting, just as we can see King Queen suited is peeled, King Jack suited is right in the middle of both players' ranges, I would say.
So then this leaves room for Simon. Once check to him, He's going to fire 4k into 7.8k, just over half pot. And Jaroslaw with the flush draw and a player behind, 1 card to come.
I think he has to lay this down.
Yeah, he's going to have to fold.
He has to ask himself what have the other guys called on the flop with. Now, although we can see he's been called by 6s, which I think is outrageous, in the long term, I think he's going to get shown sometimes better flush draws, often a king, and of course, when 2 people call, you've got to fear the set, the set of 4s, the set of 3s.
Exactly that. So now Sebastian with the king queen can't fold in this spot. Top pair, second up flush draw, does make the call. 15.8k in the middle, effective stack now 13k.
Now, although you said it's a mandatory call, at the same time, it is a bluff catcher at this point, unless you're against unless you're against an inexperienced player who is betting worse kings for protection on the turn, which I think is an objectively bad play.
Yeah.
He does only beat a bluff. So really, when Simon bets the turn, he's representing king jack, a set of 4s, a set of 3s. I don't really think he should be betting anything else for value.
And on this particular river now, king 10 suited even gets there. So all king X were actually behind to Sebastian that Simon can have here in a 3-bet pot. So the only real hands we're actually ahead of facing this jam are just flush draws, really. You don't expect Simon to ever show up with 6s here.
Sebastian, as you say, only has a bluff catcher. He's only losing to king jack 4s and 3s, in my opinion. But Simon does represent those very credibly.
Yeah, yep.
Sebastian's beating missed flush draws, but of course he does have 2 of the diamonds himself. He's beating a missed straight draw, like 5-6 suited. But you've also got to ask yourself whether you believe Simon would pull the trigger in this spot.
Yeah, exactly that.
Just because somebody could have a busted flush draw or straight draw doesn't mean they're going to bluff at 100% frequency.
Especially the 3-bet pot as well. He's going to have less like flush draws here, Simon, just because he's not going to be like necessarily peeling his 7-8 suited hands like that.
Some people do play a little
weighted towards the Broadway cards, which Sebastian has in his hands to block some of them potential combinations of flushes. But long in the tank.
The question that I have to ask is, what would have happened if it hadn't been a jack on the turn? That was actually quite a good card for Simon to rep, but maybe if his overcall on the flop was, maybe in his mind he thought he was going to represent diamonds. That wasn't going to work out very well. So what happens if it comes an 8? Or a 7 on the turn? Like, you know, if he now bluffs, he's only really representing very specific hands.
Yeah,
and he's repping much thinner than when the jack is a much better card to rep.
But Sebastian long in the tank with the king queen. The last hand he'd ever expect Simon to show up with here is pocket 6s. Maybe Simon called on the flop. He may have just been thinking about his hand. There's only 1 overcard with the 6s, but it's a spot where you should usually be folding 6s, shouldn't make the overcall.
Yeah, if he overcalls there, it should be because he thinks he can get some bluff through on later streets. I don't think he's got enough showdown value with 6s there. So I don't know what his thought process was for calling, but as we can see, if he was thinking of repping diamonds, that wasn't going to work out well.
And Sebastian looks uncomfortable body language wise, eventually does let it go, and the bluff from Simon with the pocket 6s gets through.
He got the jack he wanted on the turn and he repped it well.
There you go. Well, thanks to Andy for joining me for Break It Down today. How would you play that hand? Welcome to Break It Down. I'm joined by Grosvenor sponsored pro Katie Swift. We're going to take a look at a hand that occurred on the bubble of GUKPT main event London 2018. Clive with pocket kings and Scott with pocket 10s. Pre-flop action taking place. Clive opening the kings. Probably should mention as well, Katie.
It's worth mentioning that actually both players during this hand, they haven't played much. They've been quite tight. Clive certainly hasn't been opening, let alone under the gun early position. Blinds are 3,000, 6,000. He's making it 15k, so nice size. Gets round to Scott, who's on the button with 10s, who decides to flat, so perfectly fine. It is the pure bubble, so changes the play slightly.
It's around 2k for a min cash as
and
well.
they've both got similar stacks. They've both got around the 23, 24 bigs each.
So a Jack 10-6 rainbow flop. Scott flops the world, flopping middle set on a rainbow board. And
Clive decides to c-bet 20k, so again, nice size. And Scott looks very relaxed, I think. He looks very confident. He checks back his hand, sees they're still there.
So we can talk about benefits of calling and benefits of shoving here. He's got two options, Scott. He can either flat with the 10s or he can shove. And what do you prefer?
He does opt to shove. I think both are fine.
Yeah.
I think that if he's very, very strong, it is a rainbow board. There are some draws there. If Clive has opened with the ace-king or ace-queen type of hand, then he's obviously got a big draw, which is possible from that position. However, because it's a pure bubble, he may not be opening ace-queen under the gun, so you can kind of rule that out. Ace-king's an option, and Scott obviously doesn't want to give any draws value for getting there. So I quite like the shove because I think he takes the pot down there and then.
What the shove does though, it does narrow our range, like especially on a money bubble. Our bluff frequency should be very low. Well, you expect it to be low, especially how Scott had been playing as well.
Exactly
so
that.
For value, he's got 9 combos. He's got 3 combos of jacks, 3 combos of 10s, 3 combos of 6s. I don't think we can give him Jack 10 suited. He may pull that on a bit.
I don't think on the bubble that Scott's the sort of player. It's obviously player dependent, and Scott definitely isn't the sort of player that will be peeling with Jack 10.
Yeah, especially
I don't even think
open.
Jack 10 suited he would be. He's quite a tight player, and he wouldn't be peeling that on the button. So I think you can kind of rule that out. So, 6s are possible, 10s, jacks, and we know that Scott wouldn't be jamming with something like 8s or 9s either, so
he's not going to jam ace jack on this flop.
Possibly queens do this. I think aces he gets it in pre-flop. Even maybe queens he might decide to.
I think
jam
queens,
pre-flop.
I think queens going pre. Ace jack he would just flat on this flop.
I think Clive needs to think all those through in his head, and he gives him credit for actually then deciding he has got the set.
Yeah, so it's coming up with bluffs though, Katie. That's the thing. Like, if Scott is going to have a bluff on the bubble, the only real bluff here is king queen and up and down straight draw.
And you're blocking the kings. So
we've got 2 kings at our hand, so that halves the combos of king queen out there. So effectively, he's got 2 combos of bluffs, 9 combos of value, and then the factor that he's been playing tight, Clive's been playing tight. It's being aware of your perceived image at the table as well. Taking all these factors into account, I really can get behind folding here on the bubble.
I think as well, you don't know people's personal situation. He may have qualified online, so that min cash of £2,000 odd for the min cash could be quite significant to him. That, you know, he's only one pair at the end of the day. It's kings. There's still 2 cards to come. He's still got a healthy stack. The ICM as well is that he looks around the table. There are people there playing with much shorter stacks than him. So I think just folding it is fine and moving on to the next hand, hoping that someone else goes out and that you lock up that min cash can, you know, could be the factor there. If that was post-bubble, I think it's a different situation. I think it goes in and, you know, he gets the bad news. But
so we see Clive make a great laydown, and Clive actually did go on to min cash that event, so that fold took him there. But thanks, Katie, for joining me today. Fun hand to break down. This has been Break It Down. How would you play that hand? Welcome to Break It Down. Today I'm joined by Grosvenor sponsored pro Rick Trigg. We're going to take a look at a hand that occurred GUKPT main event Edinburgh 2019, where we see Paul with aces and a tough decision on the turn. Action starts with an open from Paul with the boots in the hijack, makes it 2k. Dean peels with the 8s on the button. That brings Nathan along in the small with the ace-3 suited, and gives Neil an attractive price to defend the big blind with the king-5 suited, and we go 4-way to the flop. Everything seems normal here, the way it's played. We get the king at 7-6, 2-heart flop.
This is where I think the biggest mistake of the hand happens, where he bets too small, 4 ways. Even with a hand as strong as aces, you're going 4 ways. You want to be betting closer to pot than a third pot or just under half pot that you chose to bet. And this causes a lot of problems where you price in a lot of people in, and they can peel for backdoor draws and stuff.
And especially the prices the blinds were getting as well after a call before. Like, exactly. Ranges are very wide here. Yeah. It's going to be very hard to define a specific range of hands for both Neil and Nathan in this pot. But Paul does get called in 2 spots, and we will take a turn.
Now, this turn looks worse than it actually is, for a few reasons. Nathan, when Nathan decides to lead, he should only lead with hands that are vulnerable here for value, and the rest should be draws. So 8-7, 8-6 that have made 2 pairs now want to lead, but they want to lead a big size in. They don't want to lead this kind of stabby size that he uses, that's like 35-40% pot. Yeah. He wants to be betting more 60-70% pot. 3 ways if he's going to choose to lead this turn. He's never got 5-9 in this spot. He never has. He can have some 4-5 suited, but not many, not often of the time. So this just kind of looks like what it is to me. He'd never bet a king here, I don't think. There's no point. And the call is, I would rather see the king 5 move in now to try and like sandbag the other guy out the pot with a strong holding. But he gets him out anyway, so the aces decides to fold.
So the aces do fold, and that's what we're going to talk about. Ace rolls off on the river. Either way, would have river top set, but do you think a bit too tight to be folding aces on the turn there, to that size especially?
I don't think it's terrible, but I think he should have taken a bit more time and looked at both of the guys' ranges here. Nathan's bet to me didn't look strong at all, and the call... maybe he levelled himself into thinking the call was really trappy and really strong. But I think the guy's most likely holding the big blinds just King X, and Nathan's got a lot of draws there. He would never have King X. He could have maybe like 7-9 or something like that, like a semi-draw or just a flush draw.
The thing is as well to take into account Neil's stack size. If he had a 2-pair plus hand facing Nathan's lead, he's just going to
put it in for protection. 6-8, 6-7. So even a set might put it in there if you're not you're not a strong player.
I think most sets are going to put it in there in that spot. So
there's only 11.5k back. The pot's big enough. Just put it in and protect yourself and look for one caller. You know, they want a caller with an overpair and a flush draw. You don't want 2 callers in the spot with a vulnerable 2-pair. So I think he would put in most of his hands. His hand kind of looks like
what it is. King X,
a bad King X or a King X with a gut shot or a straight draw or King 10 or something like that. That'd be a hand that I'd look to put him on. But I think the big mistake was the flop sizing and the fact that he just folded so quickly. 20 seconds. Take your time and think about what each player could have.
Because if he actually thinks about it, he'll be aware that Neil's pretty capped. We should be well ahead of his range. Like, he's so capped to King X, he's going to shove all his 2X. So it's only really Nathan we're worried about.
And he'd have 40,000 back, and so we can still win a pot against Nathan and might lose the 11k more if it goes to the river.
Yeah, exactly that.
He's not going to be crippled unless he loses the pot to Nathan, you see. And Nathan there to me just looks like he should be betting bigger with the hand that needs protection instead of just his little lead out that looked weak to me. So
we saw Nathan take the pot eventually, did river a top pair, but the main talking point in that hand was the aces, how they were played. Thanks, Rick, for joining me. This has been Break It Down. How would you play that hand? Welcome to Break It Down. Today I'm joined by Grosvenor sponsor pro Andy Hills, where we are going to take a look at a hand from London GUKPT, level 1 of the day. Blinds are 25.50, and we get to the river where a player is faced with a very tough decision. So action starts with an open to 200 under the gun. It gets called in 3 spots, and then a Jarvis Law in the big blind, 9-8 suited, gonna come in for a 3-bet here. Thoughts on this, Andy? Early on in the tournament?
Well, as we can see, there's been a lot of calls of the undergun raise. You could say there's been a little bit of disrespect for that raise. So a squeeze play is going to work a certain percent of the time. As we see, it didn't work that very well in this instance. And suddenly we end up playing this enormously bloated pot on level 1 of the tournament. You know, you're playing 20k deep. That's a lot of big blinds, but suddenly we're playing for effectively quite shallow stacks once we get to the flop.
Yeah, 3.3k in the middle already. Gets called in 2 spots. Sebastian calling with the king queen suited, and Simon going to peel the 6s under the gun at +3. Does have position in the hat, and we will take a flop.
So I definitely don't mind the hands that have peeled here. They're getting some good implied odds, even if they are behind. You know, we can flop flush draws, the 6s can flop a set.
And the flop does bring action. King 4-3, 2 diamonds. Jaroslaw, after 3-betting out the big, expecting to continue here, flopping a flush draw, just 9 high at the moment. Sebastian not going to be going anywhere though. Second up flush draw and top pair.
It's interesting. So Jaroslaw has almost got what looks like the dream scenario.
Yep.
The king high, somewhat dry board, where you even have some equity. Although, as we can see, he doesn't have any equity because he's dominated by a higher flush draw, which is quite unlucky, I would say. So I do like the c-bet, even though we can see he's drawing nearly dead.
Now this is where the hand starts to get very strange. Simon with the overcall on the flop here with 6s.
I would say that's quite outrageous.
Yeah, we've got to be letting it go.
I don't know what his thought process is for overcalling here. Now, I would actually say it would be a dubious call, let alone a dubious overcall in a 3-bet pot. Even if you have the best hand with 6s, the guy who's 3-bet is supposed to carry on blasting to represent the king.
So the turn rolls off the Jack of Hearts. Jaroslaw with just 9 highs, still with a flush draw.
A lot of the time you continue to represent, but maybe he's been a little bit put off by being called in 2 spots.
Yeah, 2 spots makes it a bit more difficult to double barrel in this particular scenario.
And the Jack does hit their ranges, you know, like I'm expecting, just as we can see King Queen suited is peeled, King Jack suited is right in the middle of both players' ranges, I would say.
So then this leaves room for Simon. Once checked to him, he's going to fire 4k into 7.8k, just over half pot. And Jaroslaw with the flush draw and a player behind, 1 card to come.
I think he has to lay this down.
Yeah, he's going to have to fold.
He has to ask himself what have the other guys called on the flop with. Now, although we can see he's been called by 6s, which I think is outrageous, in the long term, I think he's going to get shown sometimes better flush draws, often a king, and of course, when 2 people call, you've got to fear the set, the set of 4s, the set of 3s.
Exactly that. So now Sebastian with the king queen can't fold in this spot. Top pair, second up flush draw, does make the call. 15.8k in the middle, effective stack now 13k.
Now, although you said it's a mandatory call, at the same time, it is a bluff catcher at this point. Unless you're against unless you're against an inexperienced player who is betting worse kings for protection on the turn, which I think is an objectively bad play.
Yeah.
He does only beat a bluff. So really, when Simon bets the turn, he's representing King Jack, a set of 4s, a set of 3s. I don't really think he should be betting anything else for value.
And on this particular river now, King 10 suited even gets there. So all King X were actually behind to Sebastian that Simon can have here in a 3-bet pot. So the only real hands we're actually ahead of facing this jam are just flush draws, really. You don't expect Simon to ever show up with 6s here.
Sebastian, as you say, only has a bluff catcher. He's only losing to King Jack 4s and 3s, in my opinion. But Simon does represent those very credibly.
Yeah. Yep.
Sebastian's beating missed flush draws, but of course he does have 2 of the diamonds himself. He's beating a missed straight draw, like 5-6 suited. But you've also got to ask yourself whether you believe Simon would pull the trigger in this spot.
Yeah, exactly that.
Just because somebody could have a busted flush draw or straight draw doesn't mean they're going to bluff at 100% frequency.
Especially the 3-bet pot as well. He's going to have less like flush draws here, Simon, just because he's not going to be like necessarily peeling his 7-8 suited hands like that.
Some people do play a little
weighted towards the Broadway cards, which Sebastian has in his hands to block some of them potential combinations of flushes. But long in the tank.
The question that I have to ask is, what would have happened if it hadn't been a jack on the turn? That was actually quite a good card for Simon to rep, but maybe if his overcall on the flop was, maybe in his mind he thought he was going to represent diamonds. That wasn't going to work out very well. So what happens if it comes an 8 or a 7 on the turn? Like, if he now bluffs, he's only really representing very specific hands.
Yeah,
and he's repping much thinner than when the jack is a much better card to rep.
But Sebastian long in the tank with the King Queen. The last hand he'd ever expect Simon to show up with here is pocket sixes. Maybe Simon called on the flop. He may have just been thinking about his hand. There's only one overcard with the sixes, but it's a spot where you should usually be folding sixes, shouldn't make the overcall.
Yeah, if he overcalls there, it should be because he thinks he can get some bluff through on later streets. I don't think he's got enough showdown value with sixes there. So I don't know what his thought process was for calling, but as we can see, if he was thinking of repping diamonds, that wasn't going to work out well.
Hey, morning!
Good morning.
Another day, another dollar. How's things, everybody? Check that sound. Get on there, check that sound. No mistake, no technical glitches, hitches. We need nothing from the internet today. Thank you very much.
It looks smooth.
Good afternoon, everybody. Right there are the chip counts from last night. 161,000 is chip leader. We are ready for the table is there. We've got coming in. We know it normally is a little bit short-handed to start with because we all know that you're buying early and then you have an extra hour in bed. We understand that. But right there, the chip counts from last night. Weirdly, the satellite. We expected fireworks and we expected everybody to get to 150,000 in 20 minutes, and it was looking like we're going to get really excited. There was 11 prizes, there was 10 seats and £1,000 token to put towards the main event. Yeah. With 24 players left, there was still every prize up for grabs.
Wow, really?
24. When there was 6 players left, there was still 4 up for grabs. It was ridiculous.
So yeah,
it was insane, but it did work. It got 110 runners.
What time did it finish?
After I went.
After you went?
Don't know.
Don't know.
It was late. We weren't too late, but yes, it was one of those. We were expecting somebody to be running around the room, whipping the top off, giving it some. Yes, we've done it. No. 24 players left. There was still no seats given out, but it did work in the end, and it was well attended. 110. Today's event is day 1B and day 1C because it's the main event for us and the turbo that starts at 9. But who's picking your eye on there, Jay? Who's a man to watch out or a poker player to watch for on day 2?
Well, you're obviously chip leader Dan Gormley, obviously been with a shout, very good player. Stato's up there as well with chips. Never right, Tom Hall or Kellett, they're in the mix as well. I think.
Don't like to. I don't.
Here we go.
I hate to use anything like this, but oh my days, look at them. I'm not being funny. Would just like to say thank you very much to Katie Swift, who's just walked in with Jamie Nixon. Jamie's not playing today because he's got the Newcastle match on Sunday, and Katie's just playing day 2. Katie came in and she says, I've got some team treats. Oh my days. They're on my side of the table. They're over here. They're on my side. PK's already delving in.
It's too early for me.
Katie's going for a purple one. She says, save me a purple one. If there's none left later, it doesn't matter, she says. There's 12. What do you think we are? We're trying to slim down here. We're not trying to put it all back on. But that is an amazing thing that Katie walked in with them. Just fantastic, really good. But we are just about to start day 1B. And we are ready. Thanks to Katie for that. I tell you what, which one would you have picked out of them? Because they were delicious. Go on, give me your name.
I said Dan Gormley's one to look out for, Stato one to look out for, Tom Hall in there, Kellett in there, Chris Cunliffe's got some chips. There's plenty of good names still left in there.
Rambaswani playing again, part of the Endon mob. With Joe Beavers, and he was indeed. He was the first one to take less action in poker and move on to sports betting and stuff like that. So you didn't see him as much. But in the early days, him, Ram, Joe, Ram, and the Boatman brothers were the men in the scene. It's good to see Ram playing again. He'd been on TV in the early 2000s for 10 years. It was good to see him, but he's got 40,000 and a couple of stacks needing a little bit of help down the bottom. But they've made it. They made it through today too. So we are just about to go through on this table. Oh, we've got Albert. We've got Albert Sapiano.
In 1, Albert Sapiano. In 2, Rob Duras. In 3, Canon Fazaliev. In 5 is Span, Andy Back. In 7 is Zongming Lau. And in 9 is Stephen Lockett.
So off we go. Krispy Kreme's on the right, cup of tea on the right, bottle of water in hand. Bish bash bosh. We are ready to rock and roll, and Albert's going to entertain us. Walked in again. He says, "Is it still only 2 re-entries?"
The question that everyone wants to ask.
I know, yeah, as if it's changed. If you only had 2 yesterday, Albert. 3 in total. You're allowed 5. No, you're not. His VPIP will be slightly looking like the same as Terry Jordan. So let's go. Afternoon chat boxers. Hope everybody is well. Looking good on Twitch and YouTube at this moment in time. Afternoon Facebookers. The carpet catcher's already sat waiting. Get in the house. Early dose for carpet catcher. Hope you're well. And the very early stages with the blinds at 100, we'll run through quite a few things regarding what is happening NPL wise, because there's a little bit of news regarding the NPL as well, because it's interesting reading and it's good news for all you poker players. And I think Simon was just telling the players to stick the cards in the circle for it now literally is a second, where it used to be, can you stick them in the box for 2 or 3 seconds and leave them there and don't touch your cards and all that. Totally changed now. Once they're in the box, once they're registered, literally for a second, you just do what you want with them. Obviously rip them and tear them up and do things. So what did you do? What did you do since last time we saw each other?
Sleep.
Yeah.
That was basically it. Just slept.
That was it last night. It was indeed. It was a quick, swift wander through the room itself and straight back. So early stages of day 1B. Any questions at all regarding anything Grosvenor poker related? Anything? If you want to ask about donuts, just fire the questions into the chat boxes and we will answer them when we can.
Well, Span and Kanan flopping top pair here. Albert might come along with his 4 as well. So Jack of Diamonds on the turn. I think this will be job done early stages. I think Span will understand that Kanan on an ace-9-4 rainbow board, once he double barrels this into 2 players, ace-7 rarely going to be the best hand. It is a spot where we can just fold. Top pair hit. Be surprised if Span put any more money in. Yeah, there's the fold now, but gets out the way as well. Morning Lawrence, good morning Teresa.
Good morning. Morning Teresa. Are you sister of, wife of, or mother of David? Yeah, hope we get to catch up with Dave Clark, obviously, with the big man himself not here. It's always going to be a little bit sad coming to Luton, first ever champion down here in this fantastic town and the event. Hope you're all right, Teresa. I know we get to shout and to see David Jr. playing at the tables.
4-bet for Span with the 10s. Going to get it through.
4 betting, 5 betting and all sorts yesterday going on. With the old misread of whatever.
Oh yeah, we
Whatever.
saw the 5-bet with the Queen 6 off.
We did. Yeah, I saw Paul Fisher last night. He said he's going to do a couple of bullets. The winner of the mini...
Manchester Manchester.
Manchester Mini. Saw Paul Fisher last night. He said he's going to do a couple of bullets maximum today. But he's not in the building at this moment in time.
Morning, Francis. On Facebook, Francis. I'm assuming that's the Francis. It was on our feature table yesterday.
Hiya, Francis.
That was the bet call with King High against
Yes,
Terry.
that was fantastic. What a great call that was with King High. That was awesome. Hiya, John. John Hare. I don't know if John's still in Blackpool or he moved. I don't know if he moved to Nottingham. If he's still in Blackpool, how's it looking? Keep telling Jay it sunshines in November, will you?
Non-believer. I call.
You'll only need one woolen jumper. Bring your Oasis coat, that's all I can say.
That's gone. That's a long time
Oh,
gone.
no,
I
has it
don't know.
gone?
I don't even know where that is.
Buongiorno to Chiesa. That's a nice turn card. Anyway.
Yeah, for Robert that is. Tao, I think Albert's going to do some chips early on. Robert turning the straight, the 10-9. Makes it easy fold for Span after bet call on this particular board, and Stephen, who has the royal flush draw, is going to overcall. 4 of spades on the river. Checked over to Rob. He's got pretty easy value bet here. Once checked to us in position. Try and get called by some Jack X potentially. Obviously Albert not going to be folding the king as well, so that's a hand we can get called by. Albert will pay this off tower. There it is, and Rob going to take it with the straight.
Turns a straight. Unlucky for Albert. Turned a bigger 2-pair.
You're always comfortable betting these straights on 3 to a flush boards against Albert, because Albert can't have a flush, can he?
Never.
Can't have a flush, that's the thing. You can always rule it out.
Never. Ah, Teresa's the wife of David. I'm sure David will do his dad proud today. Big David's up there with the card gods. You're not wrong. I only ever saw David down in Luton and London and wherever he played poker. We always chatted. Such a gentleman. And when the sad news came through, it was a bit of a sad day for poker because he was a big character. But young David will do him proud, and I hope we get to see him at the tables. And if he gets on the feature table, I'm sure he'll be glued to the telly. So early stages in Blackpool. Early stages in Blackpool, we're not there yet. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch and YouTube. Watch them on all them platforms as well. Are we on the Hendon Mob this week?
I'm not sure.
We were on the Hendon Mob last week down in Edinburgh. That was amazing.
Yeah, we are.
We're
Top
on
one, top
Hendon
one.
Mob as well, the top videos. Afternoon Hendon Mobbers. If you're watching on the Hendon Mob database, it's there as well. Look at that, sun shining, you see? Sun shining in Blackpool. Don't worry about it, son. Bring your shorts.
Massive flop here for Kanan, that flush draw on the ace-10 deuce after opening the king-4 of diamonds. So easy continue, gets called in both spots. There it is on the turn. Turns the nut flush. Instant service. Just wants to continue barreling here. does Kanan. Wants to get some value from some ace-x. Potentially a deuce that Albert could have calling out the blinds. Even Rob could have some deuce-x in this particular scenario. Well, he's got a flush draw with his wheel draw tower. He won't want to see a free.
He won't want to see the 3 of clubs. Nah, it's wow, Kieran checks.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard, well, he's never getting called.
It's a double pair board tower. It's like we only really target specifically ace-x, which Albert might opt to donk some of the time.
So Albert already down to 10 from his initial 20. Afternoon to Richard Whitmore, watching on Facebook. Man as a wasp. How are we doing, pal? Hope things are good. Big Peterborough fan. Here's Rich. Afternoon, John. Just to thank you for making isolation a bit more bearable yesterday. Looking forward to today. Hope you're feeling all right, John. I know a lot of people are still getting pinged with the kids going back to school and being these super spreaders, as they say. Hoping the virus is now just a flu bug kind of symptoms and everybody gets through it. So hope you're all right, John. Glad to have you on board. We're here for a full 12 hours. So if you are nipping out or need to go anywhere, well, you won't be, you're isolating. But if anybody else nipping in and out during the day, you know to come back because we're here for a full 12 hours. And if you are thinking of playing anywhere in the country before the end of the season, the few remaining 30-30s are right there. Portsmouth, Bury New Road in Manchester and Glasgow are next weekend. And then 2 weekends after that, because Blackpool will be on GUKPT wise. The last 4 30-30s and also the last points for the NPL, which has got an interesting update, and we'll go through that quite a lot during the day. Luton, Leeds, Bolton and Edinburgh for the final 30-30s and the points towards the 2021 NPL, which also has added value at this moment in time because the prizes are getting bigger and bigger. It is fantastic news for the NPL. It started at 90,000 with the 20,000 sponsorship package put up. When they got to 100,000, they added one extra diamond package, which means now the top 6 are getting packages. And for every 10,000 after that, which we think Luton, this is all predictions, but by the time we finish Luton, there should be 2 5k packages and an extra 10k package added as well. We'll keep you updated with the NPL, and we'll keep you updated with the league standings as it is. But it's all building up very nicely. I've said to Jay, I think it's the best promotion for any poker player around there, and the 2% that they take out for the NPL, all the 2% goes back in. There's no admin, there's no extras taken out or anything. It's all just given back to the players.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great.
Mehmet Halil, good afternoon from North Cyprus. I'm guessing North Cyprus is a little bit warmer than Luton. I'm guessing it's 28 degrees, the sun's shining, there's clear blue skies, everybody's having a good time. Lovely.
Good afternoon, Gully. Tuning in, rooting for Spand on Twitch.
For the Bradford boys on Gullymath.
Kanan with the aces, early doors. 3-bet in the UTG Open from Rob with the Queen 9 suited. Stephen King Jack suited here in the small blind. It's a nice discipline laid out. Action going to be back on Rob here. Getting just over 2 to 1 and a call. Queen 9 suited. Thinks better of it. Out of the way.
Early stages of Luton, day 1B. Day 1C is the turbo, starts at 9 PM tonight.
Span ace jack of clubs in the calf, opens. Gonna get some action from Stephen with suited connector on the button. Rob probably gonna flick and defend here with the king 8. 5 to 1 in our money. But thinks better of it, just out of the way.
Queen, jack, queen. A lot of paired flops at the minute.
So Span flops best here with the ace jack. Just to come in for a check here. Stephen is up and down with his 10-9 suited. Like his choice to fire here. Only sitting with 10 high. We're going to be fairly queen x heavy on the button. Have some jack x in there as well. Like queen 9 suited, queen 10, queen jack, king queen, all part of our range. But Span check the ace jack to check call. An instant service on the turn.
Are we on the ship? That could be Span's chair.
Yeah, Stephen turning the straight here. It's going to be firing again. This king can definitely hit Span. He's going to be calling with some ace king here on the flop. So about 1.2 now coming in from Stephen. Now Span's ace jack. Hard to beat much. Only really ahead of flush draws, hands like 9-8 of hearts, 7-8 of hearts, ace-6 of hearts. So going to make the correct laydown.
Steady start to day 1B. Don't forget, Poker Live app for all poker related events for Grosvenor. If you want to check out the app, Poker Live is the app. Somebody was saying there was something like 31,000 downloads last week. Or last month.
On the Poker Live app?
Yeah, Jim was saying. Or Dan was saying. Because we were talking to Dan quite a lot yesterday because of the changes that were needed to be made on a couple of the structures and stuff. It tells you there's 95 runners for Luton at this moment in time. Price pool of 270,000. Buying late reg all day long. And buying to day 2 if you can make day 2.
Fancy the line of 480 now. I think that's going to be really close.
Yeah, the 480 is going to be tough to hit now. 246 at this moment in time. 246 as it currently stands. I just think the side events have just been, well, just amazingly busy, and quite a few people might have classed the 400 and the 250 as their main events kind of thing. And if they didn't manage to cash, then they wouldn't have been able to play the main. But there's plenty of time to get in. Turbo at 9, day 2 tomorrow. You can buy in before the start of play tomorrow morning. Seniors is on Sunday. Bounty tomorrow at 6. 6 PM is the bounty. Seniors is on Sunday at 1 PM. The 200 pounder starts at 4 and the main event concludes to a winner. There's plenty going on this weekend.
Albert with a legitimate hand here in the cut-off, ace-queen. Raises to 400. And going to get this one through, Span not defending 9-deuce.
Cosy. we're in a cupboard in Luton. If you ever been into Luton card room, we're in a cupboard, and there's an automatic light in this said cupboard. And if you don't move, because it's motion censored, if you don't move, the lights go off.
It's near Halloween.
This is how we're currently residing here in Luton. We are currently residing in the motion censored room, and the lights gone off, thinking there's nobody in the building. So we have to stand up and jump about to get it on. So as you see, as I move around, and get myself in, here we go. Yay!
There we are, back on.
It comes back on. People don't realise we're here. Maxi, I do, yes. The bounty was down as 4 o'clock in the club. And I will get concrete information before I carry on. Because I need to go and see Jim. But I think it's 6 because it's been advertised as 6 on the app. And somebody was saying that if they only got the app for purposes of finding out where to play, it's easier to put it back than it is to bring it forward to the 4 o'clock times that's been scheduled and advertised in the club and on the website. Because if somebody's only got the app to use as a guidance and they turn up 2 hours late, they literally miss the chance to play the bounty. I think that's what they said yesterday. But Maxi, I'll just nip out and get clarification of Jim that it is 6 o'clock, and I do believe that it is 6 and then reverts back to 4 in Blackpool as advertised. But we'll just go and 100% clarify that.
Gully says when he was at work, that used to be his sign. He'd been skiving for too long in the toilet. The light would go off.
They do though, don't they? They do. Right, we're going to get clarification on that because we need to find out whether it's 6 o'clock.
Do you want to bring the tees back?
Oh, go on then.
Bring the tees back, Tower. So Span early stages, 300 with the ace-9 in the cut-off. Looks like Stephen wants to get involved with the 4-3 off on the button. Albert comes along with the Queen-10. And Rob saw him fold the King-8, getting the same price last orbit. Doubt he's going to be folding this one. So makes the call, 4-way action. Of a King-6-4 and a rainbow. So Rob actually flopping the best of it here. And this one checks through, free card, which is the Jack of Diamonds. And the Ace-6 for Rob, still the best hand, although Albert does pick up an up and down with his Queen-10. Hard for Rob to call here with 2 players behind. Like to see a fold, even though he does have the best hand. Into the muck it goes. And now we're going to take that one with the worst of it. Hard to call there with third pair when Albert fires into 3 players and we've got 2 players behind us. Haymaker knockout series. I'm sure you've heard enough about this already, but it's just an unbelievable promotion. Wednesdays, free rolls. If you manage to win it, the last one had 1,800 runners, over 1,800 runners, and if you are lucky enough to bink a seat in that free roll, come top of the shop, the Vic Grand Final. There's going to be an 8-man sit and go. David Hay, 7 players, the 7 winners of that free roll, going to be playing for a share of 20k added. It's unbelievable promotion every Wednesday now. Leading up to the Grand Final, there will be a free roll for the Haymaker series. Make sure you got the client, get yourself into that. It's just a great promotion, and it is going to be live streamed. So Stephen opening cutoff with Ace King. Albert going to peel the bottom of the Queen 10, and Kanan easy defend. Ace 8 off in the big blind. 3-way to this flop. Well, the 10 of hearts is the burn card. Slight nick on the sensor. It looks like Albert's going to fire here. Hasn't actually got top pair on this flop, Albert. Just gets 2 quick folds. So 6-handed now. Another player joins the table. Hopefully by the end of the session will be full ring, but this is how it always is early stages. Small pot poker, short-handed. Tan just sat down, first hand, finds ace-jack suited under the gun, raises to 300. Folds all the way around to the blinds, and Kanan with pocket 4s here will be making the call. Span, nice defend, suited king. 3 to the flop.
I'm here.
He's here.
Again.
Jack 8-4, 2 diamonds, thank you.
And I realise why you were sitting corner work doors furthest away. Oh yeah, work that one out soon enough, let me tell you. Can't get past you, Tower, you'll have to make the tea.
Oh wow, we got action here. What a time for you to come back, Tower.
Oi, oi.
We got top pair, top kicker, nut flush draw for Tan, and bottom set for Kanan here.
Where's Albert's cards?
Albert's not in this pot, he had Queen Deuce off. And I like this from Kanan, no need to flat on this board, coming straight in for a raise. We can credibly rep a whole host of bluffs here. There's plenty of straight draws, obviously flush draw, the immediate bluff that we can have. And obviously value range here, calling out the small. There's not too much really, sets of 4s, sets of 8s, maybe Jack 8 suited in there, the 2 combinations of that. But Tan with this particular hole in, not going to be going anywhere.
If you're picking flops with ace-jack of diamonds, there aren't many better.
No, not many, Tower, but probably just going to flat here. We are very deep. Obviously just call, take a turn in position. Thing is with free betting, Tower, we can fold out some of the time, some like king, queen of diamonds, some worse diamond draws that we want in, but he is going to free bet this turn. Wow. So free bets to 5k. Like let's say Kanan had a hand here like king 5 suited or something like that, diamonds, king 9 of diamonds, king queen of diamonds. We do want to keep all these type of holdings in.
I thought the stream had froze.
No, it's just a statue, absolute statue. Look, he's not moved.
I'm glad Span's texting away, so I know the picture's not froze. Flipping heck.
Look, even Rob's froze looking at him. It looks like...
Wow. Does he know it's on him?
Yeah, he does. He's just thinking how to proceed here, whether to flat or come straight in with a 4-bet. thing is, after Tan free bets this flop, what hands is Tan ever free betting this flop with? Obviously, the main candidate is going to be a Jack X of diamonds or some sort of big combo drawing. Kano
Wow,
just
he's ripped the lot.
And Tan in pretty bad shape here, drawing to just a diamond. And this is first hand as well, Tower. This is Tan's first hand. He could be out the door, unless he can find one of the remaining diamonds in the deck. All 9 alive. Well, that's no help.
We need a diamond.
Diamond that doesn't pair the board.
Oh, we're out the door.
And it's the 5 of spades. So Tan lasts one hand.
Wowzers.
And he's out. And Kanan, with the set, wins a big one.
Yeah, it's called. And it's a biggie in the first level of the day. Hippie Chick, which donut would you like? We'll save you one. If you're in Luton before 4 o'clock, come and collect. We'll save you one. PK's had one. Which one did you have? Chocolate filling donuts gone. They call him one hand Tan. Maxi Ammo, the bounty tonight is definitely 6 p.m. And everybody else. You know when you lift the lid? Oh.
It's convenient there on your side of the table,
Absolutely.
Tower. That's very convenient placement of the donuts.
They couldn't fit on your side.
I can get them here. I can get them here.
The bounty tonight is 6 p.m. Slight mix up in the times, and because it's been advertised as a later time on the app, and I think it was advertised here in the club, wasn't it, at 6? Then the website and everywhere else will get changed. It is 6 p.m. because of the said factor of if somebody turns up at 6 and it's been reverted back to 4, you missed a late reg period, you'll not get in, and you then can say, well, I only saw it on the app.
Yep.
So just a bit of miscommunication. It has been sorted, but it's definitely 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Leeson, and good afternoon, Smuffin.
Bounty tomorrow. Apologies.
Bounty is tomorrow. No, there's no satellite tonight. The only 2 events today are main event Day 1B and Day 1C, which is the turbo that starts at 9 p.m. We will have coverage for the main Day 1B all the way through till around midnight.
Yeah, if I said the bounty was tonight, I apologise. It's definitely tomorrow at 6 p.m. As Jay said, it's Day 1B and Day 1C today here in the club. Main event, 60-minute clock, and a turbo at 9.
Albert 5 deuce off, limps under the gun, and Span gonna raise this one up, try to get heads up with Albert with the Queen Jack suited. Oh, Stephen with the same hand in the big, so he's not going to be going anywhere. He'll make the call. Albert's in with a 5 deuce in position.
Albert in with a 5 deuce in position.
Well, he flopped the gutter ball, and both Span and Andrew just with Queen high. Span not choosing to continue this one, not much here for him. Same for Stephen, really, especially with Albert behind. Both players more inclined to check, and Albert going to fire with a 5 high for over pot, 16 into 15. And gets 2 quick folds. 5 high gets the job done for Mr. Sapiano.
Yeah, we're definitely spoiled here, Hippie Chick. We do get looked after. And a box of 12 will be devoured. I'm sure as when some of the floor staff realise there's Krispy Kremes in the back room, we'll be getting hello, are you alright? We didn't realise you were here.
Yeah, we ain't seen them all of yesterday, and suddenly they all start popping their heads in.
Tim says, how does the bounty work? The buy-in for the bounty on this event, as we can see the rest of the schedule right there, as Jay brings it up for us. The turbo is on today. Tomorrow's the bounty.
6 p.m.
So as you can see there, 100 plus 50 plus 20. Every time you knock somebody out, £100 goes in the pot, £50 goes in your pocket.
Yep.
So every time somebody gets eliminated, the person that eliminates that person gets £50 in their pocket, and it's cash to do whatever you want with. It's a great. I love bounties. So many people love them, don't they?
Yeah.
Bounties. I want to play the bounty. Let's play the bounty.
It's good because if you knock a couple of players out in the first level or two, you're free rolling the old comp. You're in for free.
Yeah, you're free rolling. Get it like Jay says. Knock a couple out, and you're free rolling. You've got a chance of winning extra money. So every time you knock somebody out in the bounty, £50 in your pocket. But out of the £170, £100 goes into the prize pool. And as we were advertising yesterday, the brand new satellite that they had, the cash out satellite. One of the players was saying, if you ran that game 100 times, it would never happen again. Getting down to the last 20 players and 11 seats still available. All 11 seats still available. They said it would never happen again. The average stack when the first person got a seat was 70,000. How has nobody got 150?
I don't know, Tower. I don't know.
How has nobody got 150,000? If the average stack when the first person won a seat was 70,000. Bizarre. Any big names in today, Hurricane? We will let you know from big players around the room.
We got two of our pros in. Katie and Trig already sat down.
Yeah. Andy Hills has sat down as well.
Oh yeah, Andy Hills, of course.
Andy Hills has made it. All sponsored pros in the building. Jamie Nixon is in the building, but he's on his way home. On his way back up to Leeds.
Kanan already had aces early doors. This time gets the Cowboys under the gun. Raises to 400.
Oh no, I'm one of them. They don't like folding in this casino, do they? Yeah, they do not, no.
Yeah, indeed he did. We were just thinking, why did Stephen fold it? But he did indeed. Top pair and a flush draw.
Against,
dreams are made of, isn't it?
Against Albert as well. Albert with your second pair. And Kanan here faced with a
Alright, talking a Trig.
lead. And yet, Hurricane Higgins, he will be playing today. Saw him yesterday, arrived late evening in Luton. Was at the bar yesterday. Having a few pints. I think it was Ludo he was having a drink with. So I'm guessing we'll see Ludo back here as well today.
Indeed. Indeed. It looks like Trig's had his ears lowered since the last event. Looking a bit slim. Look at that. Looking a bit trim now, isn't he? Is it? Oh, I just got news. I thought Trig had just turned up. Oh no.
No, he hasn't.
Oh no. It's a re-entry already.
Re-entry for Trig.
Uh-oh. Was he the first out?
No, Tan was the first out with the ace jack of diamonds.
On our first tape, on our feature. Trig has had a re-entry already. Did Ludo make it through yesterday?
No, he had two bullets and then I think he was just having a few at the bar back today.
Yeah. I know his plan is to go to Vegas. Came second in Edinburgh last week, or 2 weeks ago.
Albert freeze again. This time raises to 8x. The pocket threes, so Kanan not going to be defending. He shows him, says freeze again.
And the red threes, he's now got the black threes.
Yeah, 105 entries so far today, bringing total entries up to 256. Got another 230 to go till we get to that line tower. It's going to be a close one.
It is. We'll keep his eye on it all day long.
Ace Jack 4 Rainbow the flop, and Kanan taking initiative here after catching a piece in a limp pot.
Yeah, well, we've always said that you get a really big stack early doors, and then you could just like sit out for a few hours. We know it's never going to happen because that's not the intent of any player. But it's always a good start when you double your stack and a bit more.
Thing is, no matter how big your stack, you can't win a comp on day one. You can definitely lose it. Limp from Albert, the Queen 9 suited, and Rob with the Ace 5 suited in the cutoff.
Yeah, Albert's caught then anyways.
Yeah, and Kanan been involved a lot already, so I expect him to make the call as he does. And Spand going to defend this one. Lovely little hand to defend here in the big blind. Suited connector, no, lets it go. 4-5 of spades. Thinks better of it. Expecting the defend there for sure.
Queen eye flop for Albert. Queen Jack 7.
Comes straight in for a lead, and that's going to save Rob a C-bet if he was going to continue this board. Albert going for over a pot, and Kanan here may have called a reasonable size with bottom pair here tower, but once Albert goes over pot, we're not going to call with bottom pair.
No, I'm going to show the Queen.
Yeah, I agree, Vitor. What a nit.
I hope he got his buying back on roulette. 4-way all in. Third hand, the guy who won it went to play roulette for the next 3 hours. Well, you can do what you want to be fair. With your chips, they're your chips. Not many players, I don't feel, in this room will be doing that, but if they want to take 20 minutes out, they can do. Other players think, well, I'll try and hit the rush. Sometimes a 20-minute section in any tournament can completely just spin it around.
Well, he looks 10 years younger, this leg trick, don't he?
He does, doesn't he?
He does. He looks
right dapper. Good, what a good £7 haircut does.
King 8-6-2 clubs. No set for Trig after opening the deuces. Stephen flops the best of it with middle pair. Comes in for a lead. And 2 quick folds. Yes, Hurricane Higgins, Tom Hall did make day 2 yesterday. Show you the chip counts. There they are. There he is, 90,300. Few notable names there in the field.
Stato. I'm getting it quietly, 138,000.
Yeah, Nick Marchington, November 9
That's
involved
why
as well.
Francis is in the chat. 130k, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was on Terry's table, wasn't
yes. Made a massive call with the king eye. Really, really good call.
Dave Doherty in the mix, Maz Bako, Rich Kellett, Alexius Zervos, runner-up in the grand final a few years back. He's involved. So some great names in there. Looking forward to day 2. Going to be plenty more joining them.
Absolutely.
After today.
Absolutely. How many's in so far, Jay?
So far today we have 105 entries.
105 already. Excellent.
Oh, Paul Siddell's in the building. First I've seen him this year.
Yeah.
21 outs, I'm sure.
Yeah, we mentioned that last night, didn't we?
It's 16k fine. You come back, you got 13 bigs. Definitely going to work with it. No need to surrender our stack. Buy him for another 12.50. Just he'll be Obviously not happy with it, but he's not going to be surrendering them chips. 13 bigs, definitely can run it up, get one double, you're back amongst it on this hour clock as well. There's plenty of time.
You're only surrendering stacking for three big blinds, aren't you?
Yeah,
So
like 3-4k tower. So Albert with the double gutter, with the ace-8. Pings it.
Boom for Albert.
It's going to be a chop because Kanan
has also got the 8. This will be a check call.
They're going to chop it up. Yeah, Chiesa, that is who I think it is. And Anchor Matt says 1A, this is day 1B. Yesterday we had a total of 151.
Does entering another day 1 auto surrender your day 2 stack? Or is it a case of biggest day 1 stack you take with day 2? No. If you surrender your stack, you surrender going through to day 2. It's not choose a stack. You can't pick a stack. It's literally, if you want to surrender your stack, you can. But you have to do it all again, and you have to try and make day 2. In Chris's situation, is definitely into day 2 with 16,000. If he decided to come back today, I'd tell them that he wants to surrender his stack. And that would be his chance again through today too, but it would be 16k would be eliminated out of the tournament.
No, won't be seeing any of Terry today.
No, second in chips, isn't he? Third in chips?
Yeah, third, I think. Third, I believe.
155,000. They did say he had 200,000 last hand and gifted somebody 40k. I said, why did you play it? He went, yeah, it's because it's day 1. He says, I need to learn how to play a stack for day 2.
I heard he busted Jamie Nixon. He called him off all in pre with 10-9 off, and Jamie had ace king, and Terry won. Sent Jamie to the rail. Sent many people to the rail actually yesterday. He was on fire on the feature table.
He was.
When he hits flops the way he did, hard to beat.
Yeah.
Aces for Stephen. Makes it 200. And for 100 more, Kanan going to defend the 8-6 almost always here. Be surprised if you let this one go tower. Does make it defend.
Queen 9 flop, Queen 10 4.
Yeah, Jack of Hearts is just burn card really close to the centre box for the first flop card. That's why it said Queen Jack 10. But Stephen with the aces, not much for the 8-6. Continues, gets it through.
Get your kiss me quick out, ladies and gentlemen, because that's where we're going next. Woohoo! Donkey rides, sticks of rock.
Yeah, what a schedule that is.
Oh, brilliant.
Thing to mention, Wednesday the 3rd of November, there's going to be a day 3 for the mini main. So
Yes.
On the Wednesday, now a free day of the mini because of the turnout that we have been getting. It's a great addition because the final tables are starting 1, 2 in the morning for the mini, and it's great that players can go back, get some kit before a big
sometimes it's a
final
bit
table.
later as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be playing for 40, 50k on no sleep. You want to be refreshed. You want to have your head there.
Yeah.
So it's great that they've added a day free for the mini, really happy. And then the rest of the schedule there, the cash out satellite's going to be back as well.
Yeah, indeed. And as you can see there, the bounty's back at 4 p.m. on the Saturday. Jason's already got his hotel booked for the 10 days. With Mark Kelly's on the Monday, Mark Kelly's on the Tuesday. It'll be a bit of poker on the Wednesday, the bar on the Thursday.
Back to Mark Kelly's on Friday. And that is the Blackpool schedule, but we're going to have some news dropping at some point this weekend, guys, about the grand final schedule. That is going to be released at some point this weekend, and that is a belter. I've already seen some of the events myself that are going on at the grand final, a few new additions, and that is going to be one hell of a schedule and a great event to look forward to.
And we might have a bit of a bonus for you.
A bonus?
Because we might be doing extra days on the live stream.
Oh, more work?
Into the ground, son.
never worked this hard in my life, Tower.
First time you go home, you've been to work again? You're like, work? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've been to work. Hurricane Higgins, yeah, the IPO is still... I think the reports coming back from Ireland, what I saw overnight, back to the end, because we'll just come back to the end.
No, that's the dealer keeps putting the burn card right near the sensor box, so it keeps,
right. Right.
It's...
Does it keep registering?
Yeah, because it's like it's right next to the box, so it keeps registering the burn card.
Right.
Simon, our action trackers, changed it straight away for us, which is really good. I'm a hard worker, Jay, you know that.
Absolutely. Yeah, regarding the IPO overnight, I know cases are slightly on the rise in Ireland and they've not made a concrete decision on opening back up, but they're very... I think they're still quite happy that everything's going to go ahead. If we get any news, obviously, you let us know and we'll let you know. But we are off to Dublin next week. Jay was thinking about it, but he's got too much on. He needs to sleep. He needs to catch up with the family.
I need to get a few rounds of golf in. That's what I need to do.
Absolutely.
I haven't been playing enough. Just been non-stop GUKPT the last couple of months.
Zacabello, what was that about the mini? The mini will be playing 13 levels for day 1, 13 levels for day 2. And if they get to the final table, it will stop before that, but they will stop at the end of level 26 and play the day 3.
Yeah, and Zacabello, the turbo will still run on the Tuesday at midday, yes. And then day 2 starting at 4 p.m. as always for the mini. And then, as Sal just said, another 13 levels. And if the final table's not reached after 13 levels, level 26, end of that, it will be the end of the day. Yeah. If the final table's reached before that, it will close the day out as well.
Regarding back over to Vertot, it says you'll probably need a vax cert. Yeah, the double jab thing is pretty important, I think. I really do.
So Canaan pocket 5s raises to 500. Ace 6 2 hearts the flop. Should be going to Albert a lot of the time this pot, but Albert not opting to continue here on the ace high board. Times that we are opening King Jack early position, we get the ace high board. Going to be having lots of C bets, but Albert opting to check fold this one on this occasion. Canaan did have the best hand. £5 p.m. Zacabello is when it will kick off. And no, Jay, we won't be streaming the day 3 of the mini main in Blackpool. We will just be streaming the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the main event. But stay tuned throughout the weekend because we've got some Big news for the grand final. Going to be lots of coverage for that leg. So cut off open for trig, ace deuce, and Andrew going to flat the button. And both blinds come along now, but defending the jack 4 off in the big blind after getting this price on a call. 4-way action to the flop. Nine, 8, 6. 2 hearts. Action here for Stephen and Span. Span with top and bottom. Stephen with middle pair straight flush draw. So action flop this one. Trig I'm going to have to get out of the way, and action going to be on Span now. Intrigued to see how he's going to play this one. Obviously both options open to us. We can flat. It is a bit of a wet board. Could potentially raise now with our top and bottom. Try and get some value from some worst top pair. Perhaps some pair and gut shots. Flush draws out there as well. So Span does come immediately in for the raise to 2k, and Stephen with a monster hand here, not going to be going anywhere. You can see he actually has a 62% equity here versus Span's specific hand, and the 7 on diamonds, instant service for Stephen, turning straight here with his straight flush draw, and Span now drawing to a 9 or a 6, and Stephen's going to come straight in for a lead here. I actually like this. Span going to be checking back this turn high frequency, like the times. He does have one of the value hands he's repping on the flop that isn't 10-7. He's got like 7-5, 8-6, 7, 7-10 obviously is the only hand that he is going to be continuing. But like the 2 pairs, the 9-8, the 9-6, the 8-6, the 7-5, the lower straight, they're always going to be checking this one back. So a really big fan of the lead here from Stephen. Just understanding that Span's going to have a lot of checks back on this particular board, and the board does pair on the river. Maybe a bit wary of that one, Stephen. Think about Span's range here. He's definitely going to have plenty of 2 pairs and sets, so like the decision from Stephen to check this one over. And Span in a bit of a predicament here. I think once Stephen checks, he's going to be aware that he's behind. He has got a hand that does block all the boats, but got to make the decision. Is Stephen ever folding a straight here? No, he's not. Probably not, so just opted to check and be done with the hand. We're still ahead of some random heart draws. No, it was all good, Peter. It went really well, the cash out satellite. 10 seats plus a £1,000 voucher for 11th. And Tower said there was 24 players left and no one had won a seat yet, so no one got above 10x starting with 24 left. Two more out the door. We have lost Barafi Navara Naraja, and we've lost Elaine BCA Logbu. So 4 bust outs already today, and we just gone into the second level. Blinds now up, playing 100, 100, 100. Big blind ante incorporated in first time today, as Robert comes in for the raise versus Albert, blind on blind after Albert completes with the 10-5 of clubs, heads up to the flop, ace 8-3 rainbow. Should be going Robert's way this pot more often than not. Board that he's just going to have high frequency C bet on, ace high rainbow, not very well connected. Albert does have some backdoors, so he is pulling out the float. Backdoor wheel possibilities as well as backdoor clubs. But that turn is going to be a break, and Rob probably going to check this one behind here now. Like, we're ahead of the 5-4, the 5 deuce, the 4 deuce, which are the gut shots on the flop, and like the ace x and 8x of Albert aren't going to be folded into another bet, and the 3 is definitely a part of his range that he can have in this particular scenario. Ace of hearts on the river, so Rob gets the check mark, and the king high is good. Haha, Ricky, yeah, I was struggling. Barafi Navara Naraja and Elaine Bisa Logbu were the 2 bust outs. Bit of a tongue twister. that Raggy? It is. James Clark coming to the table. On a bit of form. Man has just sat down. He's had a very, very good last couple of months. A few final tables, victories in there as well. Man on form at the moment. As Rob opens the King Queen in the small after a limp from Albert on the button. Kanan calls with the same hand in the big, and Albert going to close off the action with a 10-3 of hearts, 3-way. Jack 9 deuce, 2 clubs. So gut shot for both Kanan and Robert here, 2 overcards, not much for Albert, but just 10 high. So it looks like Rob going to come straight in for a continue here, and Kanan should be calling this in position unless Rob opts for some extortionate sizing. Opts for exactly 2/3 pot. Kanan going to make the call. Might be favourite to win this pot now, Kanan, if it doesn't go to showdown. 5 of clubs on the turn. So Rob might choose the slowdown here on this particular turn card. Going to have a whole host of club combinations in the big blind is Kanan here. Could potentially come in for a bluff in this particular scenario, fold out some potential ace highs that Rob's going to continue with. Does actually have the same hand in this particular scenario, and Rob's just going to have to check fold here. Not much we can do with King Queen, no club, out of position. I bet he was great at musical statues when he was a kid, Kanan. Every pot he's in, I keep thinking I keep thinking the Stream's freezing tower. Yep, all up to date.
Good stuff. 110 in the room so far. 110. It will be busy all day long, that is for sure. Krispy Kremes are insane, and nobody's taken up the offer of coming to Luton and saying hello to the team and taking one. No, nobody just yet. Mike Davis on YouTube says, what time did the cash out satellite finish last night? Do you think knockout satellites will be better and easier? I think it's a different scenario, and I think they'll keep both on a regular basis. I think they'll always have the standard satellites where you win your seat by getting all the chips and just staying there. This was a new one. New, being used on the EPTs, used on the WSOPs before. The players seemed to really enjoy the idea. There was 108 runners. It got down to the final 24 before the first person won a seat, though. Somebody was saying that if you run that tournament 100 times, that'd never happen again. Because the average stack when the first person won a seat was 70,000 chips, which is enormous. Hey, Sam. Oi, oi. Looking a bit svelte these days, Sam. Looking good. I've seen you on social media. We don't see much of you live anymore, but we have seen you on social. You're looking pretty good, man.
The problem with that, Sam, dealers is one thing. To hold an open-faced Chinese tournament, it's free. It's 3 players per table, so it'd be very difficult to do. Obviously, the staffing issues, and the other thing as well, runners. I'm not sure we'd get a decent turnout.
If ever you want to turn up, mate, and have a game with Jay, Jay's definitely up for it. In fact, I'll even give him an hour off to go and sit down with you and have a game of pineapple. If you want to, if you want to come and join us in London for the grand final, we'll give you an hour. But yeah, I think the number of runners for that.
Yeah, it's not just the runners, but the staffing as well. One dealer per 3 players. It's just going to be very hard to get it up and running. I know there are some places around the world that do hold.
I remember doing the Asian Poker Tour in Macau, and they had the first ever Chinese tournament, which was just insane. Yeah. Like we were walking around trying to film it, and with no idea what obviously them did like not really know the rules and what it was, and it was you got like 2 minutes to make your hand maximum, and the clock went down, and it was really interesting actually.
I went through a stage for about a year playing it nearly every day. Mickey Black, you know Mickey Black?
Yeah.
Set of 6s, yeah. We went through. I used to go see him every day, and we used to play open face Chinese throughout the day because there was nothing to do. That was before golf come along. But I enjoy it. Really good game.
That's what you want. You want to round the golf, go into the 19th, have a pint, play some pineapple.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I think those kind of games are just set to the cash games on the side, and sometimes the Omaha in these clubs gets a bit juicy as well. There's some good action on the cash tables this week.
Oh, it's been crazy tight. It's been really, really good. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a good laugh as well. But the game we played on a Tuesday night, I doubt the card room's ever seen a game like that here at Luton Casino. It was real good fun, real good fun. Does help when you win, it does make it more fun, but it was a good game nonetheless. Would have said the same thing if I was a loser. $874, all diamond flop. No player with a diamond in their hand. I think, Kanan actually got the best hand here at King High. This one's going to check through. 7 of spades on the turn, so King High remains the best hand. First bit of aggression is going to take this pot. It's going to be one of those situations. Who fires first? Very difficult to fire into 3 players though, that is the problem. Could actually just see this one get checked all the way down to showdown, and not going to happen now because Kanan on the button has made a straight, but not going to get any action in any particular spot.
Maxi Ammo, hi guys. Does Luton Casino have an on-site car park, and do you think you get spare late this afternoon? Yes, we do have an on-site car park, and they have an on-site overspill as well, which I think opens at 6 PM because they use the office buildings next door when they close on the Friday. Obviously Saturday's open all day because it's Saturday working, but you'd be very lucky to get a space now. There's plenty of parking around the casino, but I don't 100% know exactly where they are, but I know the guy outside tells you where to go and what direction to end in. If you get lucky with a car parking space, then you can park up, but I do know the overflow car park starts at 6. So if you are coming, Maxi, good luck getting a space and hope you get one. Yeah, the PLO action on the cash tables. If you do like the action, it has been wild.
Yeah, it was just big, Joe, very big, like 25, 50, 100, 200 sometimes. It was a big 6-card game, but it was fun. It was fun. It was a good line-up, good table, good laugh.
You saw on the app that they paid the bubble 11th and 12th got 500 last night. What happened there? There were 10 prizes. I didn't actually know that, but working it out, there were 10 seats and £1,000 voucher for 11th. That's with the payouts, because they didn't quite make 11 seats. So it was 10 seats and £1,000 for 11th. So by the looks of that, 11th and 12th split the voucher. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, Joe, it's been like it all week since I got here on Friday. Well, I got here on Thursday for the 30-30, didn't play any cash, but then Friday, the second day of the 30-30, the cash games just picked off that night, and then ever since Thursday through to Tuesday, they're like it every night. They're just really good games. Not just the PLO either, there was some big Hold'em games as well. But the cash games have been mental here this week, mate. You'd love it, honestly. You would have loved it if you were here.
Get yourself down. Up.
But saying that, Joe, every leg that I've been to for the GUKPT, when I've travelled down the week before to play some sides and some cash, everywhere we've been, I didn't play any in Edinburgh actually, but that's because we just had a main event. But other than that, every other leg I've been to, all the cash games have been insanely good, like really, really good. And Blackpool's probably going to be the same as well. So if you are coming to that, I'll see you there. Might see you at the tables. Battles. Rob Ace King EP. 300 to go. Trig going to make the call with the ace-9 in the cut-off. No, he's going to free bet the ace-9 in the cut-off to 1,000. Going to get the bad news once comes back round to Rob. Rob, against this particular opponent, I'm always leaning more towards 4-bet. There are some players that may just opt to flat this spot, but against Trig, going to be 4-betting almost always here. And snap 4-bet from Rob and a quick fold from Trig. No, Hanskin, it don't work like that because the if someone gets 150k, say they got 170, the remaining 20k chips are scattered around the table equally. So there'll always be that seat in play. There'll always be the amount of chips in play needed for a seat. So there'll be the way the prize pool works. Everyone will get the number of seats that are built up through the prize pool, and then obviously yesterday we had the £1,000 token because we didn't quite make 11 seats. But it's not like if you got you double up with 100k, you get to 200k, and then the whole 200k comes out of play. That's not the case. 50k will stay on the table, so that doesn't happen.
Hurricane again, seat 1 is Albert Sapiano from London, the biggest honey distributor in the United Kingdom. And we've never tried his wares.
No, that's true. He never brings us any honey in, does he?
Never. I don't have words.
Yeah. You like your honey and lemon tea?
I do indeed. I also like ginger with it as well. I'm into grated ginger at the minute. Tell you what, grated ginger in rice. Oh, my favourite thing at the minute. Love it. So a steady start to this event. Kenan was the one to double up and eliminate Tan in the early stages of the day. Yeah, it was really weird, Mac, because we were saying that 24 players left and 11 players got the prizes and nobody had won a seat, and they were saying that if you run it 100 times that'd never ever happen again. Because the average stack when the first person won his seat was 70,000, and you only needed 150 to get yourself a seat. But yeah, it was good. And the final 6 players left had 4 seats available, which again is unprecedented.
Really intriguing. Like the strategy of it would be like so good to think and look about. And the thing is as well, you always need to know your exact stack size and the exact pot, because if you've got a value hand on the river and you've got like 131k plus the pot that's in the middle, you want to value bet 19k, there's no reason to value bet 20k, 21k, 22k. You want to value bet that exact amount, that if you get called it gets you to 150, like little things like that. Like the strategy must be mad.
Yeah. Anskin's got it right. 71% VPIP, says James Turpin. What's going on? That's pretty standard.
That's low for Albert, James. That is very low for Albert. If anything, he's not playing enough hands.
He does walk through the door and says, how many times can I re-enter? As his first question every event. The Bloat. Friday afternoon, 10 to 2. We must have had Friday off. He must have. There's no way he's watching at work. He's definitely got Friday off. J-Bon. Hey, John. Great stream from our local casino. Have a great day. Oh, I'm glad that the casino was watching the live stream here from Luton.
I saw his Mrs. Angela the other day. I had a quick chat with her. Nice to see her. She was playing the 30-30, I believe. Awesome. Oh, he's in Spain, there you are, Tao.
It's even worse, Oh, my days. Sangria's out. Oh, my word. Blue skies are out, 28 degrees.
I bet he ain't got donuts in Spain here.
I bet he ain't got 12 Krispy Kremes, have you?
Exactly.
Oh, no. We got treated by Katie Swift this morning to 12 Krispy Kreme donuts. Do you want to see them? Do you? Do you want to have a look? Show them. Look at them. Look at them, but pick one. Anybody in Luton who wants to come down for a donut, you've got an hour.
And that is
Look
it,
at them
because
beauties.
we'll show you. We'll show you them at the start of next break, and there will not be that many in the box. There won't be that many there.
Good old Katie gave us a little treat this morning, and then she came in. She says, "Thank you very much." She says, "Enjoy team treats." Amazing. I'm trying to get down looking like a svelte kind of guy, and I get 12 Krispy Kremes at the side of me. So enjoy Spain. How was it these days getting through the airports and regarding testing and all that?
I haven't been to an airport since the pandemic, Tower. I've not been out of this country since.
What are the stipulations these days?
I wouldn't even know.
Does it still cost to get home and stuff like that? I don't really know. I need to know. I need to get away.
Zong Ming with the ace 10 raises to 300. Stephen peeling Queen Jack suited in the cutoff. Albert's in with the 5s, and Kanan got a lovely hand to defend in the form of Jack 9.
Yeah, it's not called a knockout satellite. It's a cash out satellite. That's what the difference is. Because they were thinking about calling it a shootout satellite, but obviously a shootout would be win the table, win the seat kind of thing.
Zongming, ace 10, Broadway draw for him, 1 overcard. That's 900. Stephen with second pair here. Bit of predicament. We've got 2 players behind us. Zongming's firing into the whole field, so just gets out of the way with a Queen Jack. Understand why. In that particular scenario, he did have the best hand, but Zongming going to take it up with his C-bet. And yeah, Jay, this is Albert's first bullet.
It is. Came over to watch the golf at Valderrama for the weekend. Oh yeah, it's the Open there, and she said Jill wanted to go and watch John Ram play, only he's missed the cut. So he's not even there Saturday, Sunday. I think he was 6 over yesterday or something like that that I saw on TV. Yeah, nobody plays off 10.1 like Tower.
Yeah. You'd have gave him a run for his money yesterday,
Absolutely. Tower. You're not wrong.
10.1.
Yeah. Putting for eagle these days on par 5s.
That shouldn't be happening.
It happened on Tuesday. Afternoon, Warren. And Kev says, travelling okay, will be even easier next month. Good. A lot of people will be travelling over to Vegas next month as well. A lot of players already putting it in the plans.
God, Kanan been in absolute card.
Zong's already all in. What's happening here? Is he not all in? It's a misclick.
Yeah, graphic error. And Kanan with another monster. This time just flattened the ace-king in the small. Doesn't want to come in for...
Zong's not even in the hand.
Bet. Yeah, it's just Albert and Kanan. I have no idea how Kanan hasn't 3-bet the ace-king here versus Albert. It's open. But maybe just want it to come ace-high, king-high. Win a big pot versus Albert. Albert flopping straight draw with his ace-high. Fires 1,500 into 12 and Kanan just folds the best of it. Poker Mel, how are we doing?
Hey, how was the holiday? Or how is the holiday?
She says airport was quieter than normal. You just need to show your double vaccine proof on your app and then fill out the relevant form locator for your country you are going to. Need a test done within 2 days of returning to the UK.
Oh, well, the PCRs are free when you come to the UK.
Yep.
When you come back to the UK, find your local distributor of the PCR test and get one done. I might have to try Lanzarote in December. Got to get there somewhere. Somewhere like that. Plenty going on before then, though. Blackpool, the grand final.
Luton day 2 and 3.
Luton for the rest of this week. Looking forward to all the events. It's been a superb return for GUKPT after what happened to the world. And since July, it's been non-stop. And the players have absolutely loved it. It was even like yesterday when like Danny told like regulars that have been on the circuit 10, 12 years, that, like, saying little touches like having having the fruit out there and having the fridges full of water, so you can just open it and get yourself a drink. It's just a nice touch.
Yeah, it is. I agree with that this year. Like the way the tour's been run and the little additives like that. Like you say, the waters, the fruit all out. We had muffins in Leeds, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
It was just.
Well, it's a nice touch for the players as well. We all know back in the day when poker players wanted everything for nothing and they moaned and groaned about it if they weren't. But that's a nice touch, having fridge fulls and just open it and get yourself a drink whenever you want to.
You don't want to be on table 20 seat free though.
Say again?
You don't want to be on table 20 seat free. I was sat there for the mini main. One of my bullets in the mini main. You sat right next to the fridge and the whole table. Jay, get me a water. Jay, get me this. Because all I had to do was go back and open the fridge.
You were like a valet.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was sat next to the fridge.
Should have turned up with day 2 with your tea towel on your arm. Oi, Kev Blood's got some good news. Carl's not going to New York for a while. So the Devon Open may be back on. I've still got the trophy, Kev. I have still the trophy in my cabinet. And it's still filled with the money that... No, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah, but the trophy's still there. Ellie Bosward, watching on Facebook, says, the best place to start playing poker as a beginner?
Best thing I could say for you, Ellis, if you're new to the game, you haven't played at all, if you're not sure on strategy, download the Grosvenor client. Every day there's free rolls running. You don't have to deposit any money at all. You can just sort of start understanding fundamentals, how the game works. Let's start playing with free rolls for 3-4 weeks, and then maybe move up to little $1 buy-ins, $2 buy-ins. I know if you want to play live as well, there's pub poker that goes on all over the UK, little £5-10 buy-in tournaments, good place to start, good social aspect as well there. So just little things like that. And if you're really serious about it, want to get good at the game, you can look online. There's YouTube videos, there's websites to get your game better, but there's so much that you could potentially do as a beginner to just get yourself in amongst it. And then depending on how quick you learn, before you know it, you could be playing these 1Ks in a year, 2 years time, getting involved with some of the best players in the UK.
Absolutely, and the best tour around. Kev, look, just let us know, Kev. But two things to remember before you start booking the Devon Open for the guys is A, check the schedule for the GUKPT. And B, check the schedule for the Irish Open that always happens around Easter. And that's the only 2 stipulations, and then get back and we'll sort something out. Good luck to Katie Swift, says Julie. And your mate Pete's just gone out aces to King Jack. Ouch. You're watching in Malta. Steve Smith is watching in Malta. The Battle of Malta should have been on Monday. It should have been Monday. It should have been on Monday. We should have been flying straight to Malta. Me and Jay were there in 2019. Jay was on a holiday.
Yeah, it was, like I say, I'll never forget that night. It must have been about 5-6 in the morning, been out on the booze all night with my mates. I'm coming down the strip, we're strolling back to the hotel, and all I can hear is this loud voice coming from a bar. I thought, I know that voice. Turned around, it's Tower. You're sitting there with Ludo having a few drinks, and I was like, we started drinking for another 2 hours.
It's a fantastic place, and the Battle of Malta with Grosvenor had loads of qualifiers going through. There was hundreds and hundreds of Brits turning up. It was a fantastic event, and it would have been on Monday. If it had been on, the dates were set, and then it got cancelled because of the restrictions in Malta. There were still 500 at the time. So they had to cancel it. But it has been scheduled for I think, the 7th of May next year. I'll try and find out the exact dates for the Battle of Malta, but it's in the calendar already for May, early May next year. Is the Battle of Malta. So, Stephen, if you've got any concrete dates up there and they're advertising already, let us know, because the Dragonara Casino is only about 5 minutes away from where the Battle of Malta is played, in St Julian's. Let us know. And how is Malta? It's usually lovely at this time, and this time it was lovely when we were there, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was.
Really nice. As soon as I get the schedule for next year, which I think will be announced at the grand final. We'll let you know. We'll definitely let you know. No, Stephen says they're still 500. Well, fingers crossed they do improve very soon, Stephen. The 500 tables are a bit. I don't know what the vaccination protocol is like in Malta and how safe you are, and everything. Hopefully gets back to normal around the world ASAP.
A few more early bust outs to
we
let
got,
you know
Grim?
about. Jacob Mulhern, Vadim Cretum, Paul Siddle, Peter Brackley and Gary Stevens Smith are the latest bust outs, early stages here, day 1B.
Early exits from day 1B. So there's still 500 in Malta. That has to change soon if the Battle of Malta is going ahead in May. But I'm sure the dates are set for the Battle of Malta. If anybody can confirm that, I'm sure it's the first week in May. And if I can get any inside information, Kev, I'll send you a message regarding the schedule for next year. But we need to know when the Irish Open is, and obviously the GUKPTs, and we'll work around that. Stephen says, how crazy is Malta? 15 standing round a roulette table, but you can only play 5-handed poker. that just doesn't make sense, does it? That really just does not make sense. That just sounds like, well, we make more money off roulette than we do off poker, so poker can be the ones to suffer.
Nice fold there from Stephen. Bet folding the straight. Albert did have the nut straight. So half hour left of the first session of the day, and then we will head out on a 15-minute break. New table when we return as always. Been a fairly quiet start, even with Albert in seat 1. Not been too much happening. Only hand we really saw that caused fireworks was Tan and Kanan. Bottom set versus top pair, top kicker, nut flush draw, all went in on the flop. So Zhong Ming, pocket sevens in the hijack. Opens to 600. Stephen with King 7 suited on the button, going to get out of the way. You know, Rob probably not going to defend this one in the big.
You will be in Kane, don't worry, mate. It's no rush.
Won the hand, that's all that matters.
Tens for James in seat number 8. Little raggy. Aces against Ace King yesterday. King on the turn. King on the flop, King on the turn. Out the door. This is it happens. With a smile on his face.
It does, and he's been on form as well, Ruggy, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and he always says I always get lucky and how lucky he is and all that. But he can play, obviously. He's had some good results in the last 3 or 4 months. But when he tells you And with a shrug of the shoulder, I had ace king, and he hit the king on the flop, king on the turn, shrugs his shoulder, said, I'll be back tomorrow. No bad beat stories going on, really. No moaning and groaning about it. He says, that's poker.
So Albert firing here with bottom pair on ace jack 3, all diamonds. Raggy going to make the call with the tens. Check, check. Oh, and Albert Rivers trips.
Oi.
I'm going to fire 1500.
He likes the 3 in his hand. Not the best board for tens, to be fair.
It's not tower.
Especially, no, he's had to fold the tens. It was a terrible board for Raggy. And Albert shows his 3 again.
You see shit cards, beware.
He's had red 3s, black 3s, any 3s. GUKPT, Luton Day 1B. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. People have told us to subscribe to Twitch and get up there. We'll do all sorts. Great that we're on a regular basis on Twitch. Loads of people use the format. A lot of people say it's the crispest stream as well. We're talking of crispies.
Haven't had one yet, might be one on break
Yes,
time. Could
break
be
in
donut
25
time.
minutes, son. Break in 25 minutes.
So he's banned opening ace 10 suited. Not been the best the first sessions for him. Folds all the way around to triggering the big blind. 5 deuce going to come in for a call. Ace 8 6 rainbow, so span flopping the best of it. Incorporates a check in here. And this is what Span's done. Look, he's got an induce here. He's induced Stephen to 5 with deuces, and now Albert's in as well. Might even, I know I say a lot of the time, just to be calling with top pair, but might even choose this spot to potentially raise it. I wouldn't mind it at all against the size that Stephen has chose, and then Albert's call here. So yeah, I like this from Span. Not going to get any action from either opponent, but I like the decision to check raise this particular holding against these 2 particular opponents. Stephen sizing on the flop, and then Albert's call just comes in for a raise, takes it down. And when you do have certain opponents on your table, so much better to take exploitative lines rather than the theoretical lines. You've got to be thinking of ways to make chips outside the box.
I don't like jacks very much.
So follow us everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, get us on, check all the social media, all the details regarding everything Grosvenor poker related, and sometime this weekend the full schedule for London and the grand final will be out, and we cannot wait. Afternoon, Nate. Watching on YouTube. Where's Sheffield Wednesday losing to tomorrow? Towers Treble will be out tomorrow afternoon. Grosvenor Sports.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Can't wait. That's what everybody says. I'll tune in after 2.
I can't believe you even messaged me last Saturday telling me you got a treble up and you didn't even let me know about it. It's just unbelievable.
I knew. Well, because I didn't post it on social and I got the treble. I had to tell somebody. I'm just sorry with you. A good treble as well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, nice treble. So Canan's not really moved since he doubled up very early doors. Playing the AFC Wimbledon. Rotherham United's at Portsmouth. Big game for Portsmouth. Big game for Tottenham this week. Playing the richest club in the world.
Yeah.
See Liverpool are bang on form again. Playing well. Towers Treble will be up tomorrow on Grosvenor Sport, and for Grosvenor Sport as well, day 3. We'll be having the live book before midday. You'll be able to back the players who are left. Have a little flutter on the players that remain. That'll be on Grosvenor Sport. That's on Sunday morning.
Sean asked, how did Kaynan double up? Open from Tanley under the gun with ace jack of diamonds. Kaynan peeled the 4s in the small blind, went heads up to the flop, come jack 8-4, 8-4 of diamonds. So top pair, top kick and nut flush draw for Tan. Bottom set for Kaynan. Tan continued, Kaynan raised, 3-bet from Tan, 4-bet rip from Kaynan, and Tan called it off. I did say during the hand I would have preferred a flat from Tan on the flop after he's been raised to keep worse flush draws in and just take a turn that deep, but Tan just was happy to go with it. But that was the bust out hand for Tan and the double up for Kaynan.
I remembered all that.
So 8 of clubs on the river. Giving Trig the check mark with just ace high. Stephen is going to bluff it though. Going to fire here. And what are we repping here? There's Stephen opening under the gun, checking the flop, and then going bet. Interesting to see if Trig can sniff this one out. Hard to call here with ace high. Some of the time we might get shown ace queen, ace jack from our opponent. But maybe Trig's thinking these ace queen, ace jack type hands are just going to be clear checks on the river, which they should be. So Trig thinking if Stephen doesn't have a boat, we should be good here. What boats is Stephen going to have? If he's got like 10s, jacks, queens, he's probably going to bet flop. So maybe not repping much here, and that's why Trig thinking about calling this one off of ace high, and that is a good call from him.
Good call, sir. Ace plays from Trig. The ace plays. August says, is the Blackpool leg the last leg for NPL points? No, it is not, because right there at the bottom, the week after Blackpool GUKPT, Leeds, Luton, Bolton and Edinburgh 30-30, right there are the final events for the NPL points this year. The updated league is there, so if you want to check where you are and if you're in the playoff situation, and we have news regarding extra packages over the next few weeks as well. We'll be going through that plenty of times today, but those last 2 weekends of 30-30s in Portsmouth, Bury New Road and Glasgow next weekend, and then the week after GUKPT Blackpool it is Leeds, Luton, Bolton and Edinburgh. They are the last for 2021. And if you're close to the top 100, make sure you check the league. If you're in the top 10, check the league.
As Tao mentioned earlier, more packages are going to be getting added.
Yep. The money for the NPL this year has been amazing. and I've said it, and I keep saying it, I think it's the best promotion for poker players I've ever seen. Yeah, sometimes there could be a couple of tweaks. I know somebody said the other day that it's probably too much volume based. I'm not sure, but the players that playing everything are saying we have to play everything. But a promotion's a promotion, and if they want you to play it and get extra money for next year, don't they? These 10k packages for next year, they're amazing. And at this moment in time, you and Nicholas will be the one that will be the sponsored pro for next year.
But Ben T close behind him. Two pals, good friends, fighting it out for the top spot. And saying that, Chris Johnson making a run at things back end of the season. Looked like he had no chance a couple of months ago of even getting close to Ben or Ewan, but he has got some points racked up in the last couple of months. Schlevlin poker? No, probably not. Probably not.
No, we'll try and pull up the table. Hopefully it's been updated on the website. We got the updated one for us to show. I don't know if it's in the. It might be in the comms. We'll check with PK very shortly on the stream deck if we can pull it up and show you, because you can scroll down to find out where you are in the league if it's updated at this moment in time.
Even Tao's got some points, ain't you, Tao?
Aye, we have. That's not been updated, I don't think, but your name will still be there if you check the name. If we know your real name. Oh, that has been updated.
Yeah, that's when you click on full leaderboard and results.
Ah, right, okay. So if you click on the full leaderboard, go to grosvenorcasino.com.
Yeah, and then click on National League and it's all there. It is all there.
Yeah, grosvenorcasino.com. Pull up the page, click on poker, go to poker, and then click on the tab that says National Poker League. And the National Poker League then comes up. And the updated league is there. Full leaderboard and results. If you tell us your real name, your full name, we can tell you exactly where you are. Oakers is currently 12 points clear of 78th, so we'll definitely play the Luton 30-30. So Oakers has checked where he is. Yeah, exactly. Trig is... he's had the shave, he's had the nice little trim, he's looking good.
Might make a late run at it, Tower.
You're up 42 places. That must be one of the biggest movers ever.
I've only played 8 events this year. I've only played 8 events with Grosvenor this year, none online.
42. I am 1,200 and something. I don't think I can make the playoff. Yeah, if you do want to check where you are in the league and you've got the Poker Live app, you can find out on there. If you go to the home page, if you go to the home page of the Poker Live app, click the little caricature on the left hand side. It tells you your name, it tells you your ID, your unique ID number, and then if you click on National League, it'll tell me I am 2,243rd in the league. I'm going to make a late run. I think I might play the. I'm going to play the mini in Blackpool, and then I might play the 30-30 and the main, and I might get myself up. So yeah, if you click on that, the app tells you exactly where you are in the league. So the Poker Live app is a fantastic tool if you want to find out where you are in the league at any time. It's a great app for poker players. The biggest mover in the top 100 was Nikolai Pomenerov, up 13 places to 37th. The top 77 will be playing off for the online platinum packages, and 78 to 100 will be playing off for one platinum package. And at the moment, Lee French is currently 78th.
He'll be up from there, Tower, after the run he had in the mini the other day. Yeah, he was I think 11th in the mini main.
Hopefully, by the time we get to Blackpool, all the results will be added that have been played since the last live stream. And currently, just outside the playoffs in 101st by 1.62 points is Stephen Hollidge. So Stephen, if he wants to get into the playoff, will need to play. Hendricks making a move. He's 18 points off getting into the playoff. He's moved up 12 places last week. So all good stuff. Check it out on the app. Find out where you are.
Well, Trig here going to get in a whole host of trouble against Albert because Trig's got aces up and Albert has got the boots. And a bit of 5k from Trig going for value on the end here. And Albert with top set, not letting it go. Shows.
He says, I'll call to see you flush. And then Trig just nods and smirks when Albert turns over the legit boots. Trig down to 8.7. Albert up to 32.
So some more bust outs coming in. Gary Whitehead, William McClaw, Elaine Bisa Logbu gone again.
Nine minutes till the end of this session. As you can see in the clock in the top right hand side.
Zongming Jack 10 suited, raised to 300. Stephen in a flat with a Jack 10 and Kanan in a card rack this session. Ace King again, 3 bets to 1500. Zongming with this particular holding, gonna call, take a flop in out of position. And out flops the Ace King of Kanan. And continuing for 1k and Zongming not going anywhere. Four of clubs here on the turn, and Kanan probably going to check this one behind here. Not sure we're going to be double barreling this particular Ace King combo, but looks like he is firing. Maybe targeting some 7s, 8s, 9s, although 7s and 8s probably going to call after picking up a gut shot. Probably only folding out 9s and 10s with this barrel. diamond draws, probably still going to be calling a lot of the time. And obviously Jack X not going to be folding to a second barrel here. Maybe a spot where we should be checking, but is going to fire. Just got to think about hands that Zongming's going to have at call flop in this 3-bet pot. Like I say, 7s and 8s are definitely in there, but probably going to be calling once more, especially 7s will be up and down, 8s maybe not. Maybe that's what this double barrel is targeting here from Canan, the pocket pairs in between the 6 and the Jack. Wow, and if we're folding out a Jack with a double barrel, that double barrel becomes so profitable for us as Canan. Zongming just letting top pair go there. It was a 3-bet pot, queens, kings, aces, all in Zongming's range, but I think got to be calling once more there and fold if we are faced with a 3-barrel on the river. Yeah, there we are, Gully. We should get a checklist. There's one. Maybe they know each other. If Canan's aware that Zongming's going to be overfolding hands that he should be calling, then we can profitably double barrel that spot. Like if he's only calling 2-pair plus in a 3-bet pot there, then it's just a print spot for us to come in for a bet. Zongming going to get straight back in the action with a king-queen.
Three to the flop. Well, we're 6 flops pair.
Yeah, middle pair, top kick up. But Canan with the best of it here with top pair and position as well. Now we're going to come out firing for 2/3, 1.2 into 1.8. And Canan not going to be going anywhere at all here. Position on Albert. And Zongming now got an easy fold with a king-queen after this action occurring in front of us. Is it Song? He just folds top pair and then he pulls out the float with king. What? King queen. I don't mind it. We got a king of hearts there. There we go.
I knew it was coming on the turn.
There's a reverse implied odds for your tower. We're going to get ourselves in a lot of trouble now as Zongming.
Unfortunately, yes.
Because Canan turning top 2. Been running very hot this first session, and you know. Zongming might fold here, tower. I'm like, oh, he might. What we just seen, he might.
If floats and then it's the turn, he's definitely not folding this time. Albert gets out of the way.
Yeah, when Albert goes 2/3 and gets called by Canan, I just think we want to be mucking the king-queen, and we've hit a disaster card for us on the turn, giving our opponent top 2, and now if I'm Canan here, obviously always going to be coming in for value here. Got to be thinking about hands that Zongming's meant to have in this particular scenario though, like very hard for him to have a queen himself. Like maybe 10s, 9s, 8s, looks like he may have played it that way, but well, it could just be a Jack X hand, but what Jack X is he going to be checking on this flop as the pre-flop aggressor? Does fire for 4.5 and a quick call from Zongming, gets the bad news, and that float on the flop has cost him around half his stack, down to 9.1 now. Takes it in good spirit.
Couple of minutes left of this session. Hands left this sesh. So 4-way action. Zongming in with the jack do.